Hey internet! Hey acting! Good morrow! So as it is the 400th anniversary of Shakespeare's death, I'm here to talk about my Shakespeare story and how I first fell in love with Shakespeare and what Shakespeare means to me. My first big encounter with Shakespeare was my freshman year English class with Romeo and Juliet. I was a theater girl, so I'd already had a little bit of exposure to Shakespeare, so I was ready, I was excited, and I had this awesome teacher named Mrs. Lombardi, and it's really been one of my favorites since then. My favorites are Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, Midsummer Night's Dream. And of course it depends on whatever I'm working on or interested in at the time. I'll get in moods where I'm like, Titus Andronicus! But right now I'm actually in 2 Shakespeare productions, which is the greatest time of my life and also exhausting but great. So the first one, which has been open for 4 weeks now, maybe 5, is Prospero Storm, which is a blast. I get to work with 5 puppets throughout the show, which is awesome. I've got a dog puppet, a spirit puppet, a gigantic 20-foot puppet, and 2 flat little 2D puppets. At the end of the show, I also play Miranda's mother, who is dead. But at least I get to sing about it! And I'm very excited because I recently found out that Prospero Storm is part of Shakespeare 400 Festival here in Chicago. That's pretty exciting for me, just to be a part of this huge international event that's drawing so many fabulous artists from all around the world. And then I am also playing Hero in Much Ado About Nothing, screwed up by Margaret Boffman. Basically what she's done with it, and I don't want to give too much away, is really just give the female characters a little bit more grit and a little bit of teeth. So I actually got the passport to Shakespeare for the Shakespeare 400 Festival at Chicago Shakes. So I'm going to give you guys my very in-depth, intellectual, theater student, BFA, my honest, critical outlook on these 2 shows that I've seen so far. So that is my very serious broken down intellectual review, and I hope Chris Jones liked that. What else do I want to tell you guys? One of the things I've loved about doing Prospero Storm is that we get to share Shakespeare with young children for the first time. To have a kid walk out of Prospero Storm and the next person that asks them about Shakespeare, they say, oh my god, Shakespeare is the greatest thing I've ever seen. There are puppets, and there's music, and there's all these characters doing these crazy things. Shakespeare's amazing, I want to see more Shakespeare. And just thinking about that makes me so happy, and happy to be a part of that show. What is the most memorable production of Shakespeare that I've seen? That's really hard. I have a couple that come to mind. One production that I worked on, actually, I was assisting the fight choreographers, which is something that I love to do, on a production of Hamlet at Oak Park Shakespeare Festival. It was just so much fun because from the first read you could already feel the chemistry in the room and the relationships, and everyone was just there for the same purpose, and I really think that that showed through in the final production. One of the first productions I ever saw of Shakespeare was Macbeth at the Interlochen Shakespeare Festival the first year that I went. It just floored me. I'd never seen theater so visceral. I'd never seen such large spectacle combined with such subtle nuance. I've also really enjoyed Backroom Shakespeare. Backroom Shakespeare is this really cool thing in Chicago. Everybody's making discoveries in the moment, people are having drinks, eating food. It's really fun. Which Shakespearean character speaks to you and why? That's hard too! So many. Helena, very strongly. She's a tall girl who is in love, sometimes unrequited. And Hamlet, and Juliet, and Romeo, and Mercutio. Oh, and Hotspur. Sometimes Tamora, and Lady M when I'm having that kind of day. Pretty much everyone in Twelfth Night, all the time. Oh, definitely Hero, of course. But also Beatrice, and Margaret, and Leonata. I think what I really like about Shakespeare's characters is that they're all pretty relatable in some way. Share your favorite Shakespeare quote. Oh god. Okay, today it's, and yet I wish but for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you liked it, share your own Shakespeare story and hashtag my SHX400.